Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested and ready to begin your day. This is your daily Tarot Oracle, your daily insight on life and love for February 1st, 2022, also being timeless. So wherever you're catching it time, this could be relevant, irrelevant, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a good show, maybe I don't know. But if this, if this does make sense, awesome. If not, don't even sweat it. This is not going to fit everyone's life. How did this not go out? I'm waving it back and forth. Anyway, all right. If it does make sense, I really hope that it's a good message. It looks like it's good overcoming adversity, which great, grand, wonderful. If you do have questions about booking a private session, go ahead and reach out in the provided email address, or you can find me on the social platforms and send me a DM. Also, see what services I provide, see what might be right for you. I'm seeing a major level of detachment and detaching. No, I see the emotional connection, but I'm also seeing the detachment from it. So it's not like you are embodying all of this sense of overwhelm. It does feel like a sense of overwhelm. I think that you're stepping back from whatever this emotional surge is. And I think that you're really just trying to observe it logically and probably a little bit more coolly. You're knocking whatever this stronghold that was on you, you're knocking it off. I see that you are dropping all the excess baggage. I think that you're learning to only keep what is yours and to only react to what is your responsibility. Keep your worries relevant and intimate. This isn't about anyone else. This is about you. So I think that that was probably the major karmic lesson for you, because I do feel like this was, I could always do more, I could always do better, I could always add on. Great. And now you started taking responsibility for lives that are not yours. And I feel like this is the constant cycle. You pull away and you put in the boundary. It's good for a little while. And then, lo and behold, here we are again, and you're having to tell people to F off again. And then, eventually they'll be okay. What I'm feeling from this is people can kind of gauge what part of this cycle that you are on as far as being a people pleaser, so they know for how long how to pull away from you and when they should re-enter into your life. But what I'm seeing with this is you also are very well aware of this now. So you have cut off so much communication with people who would just not even honor exactly what your intentions were, what your words were that you were putting out, what your needs were. And so what I'm seeing here is in cutting them off, you actually had a higher sense of elevation. I almost feel like you feel like a natural high off of this. It's exhilarating when you start cutting away from all of this entitled, burdensome energy. But once you cut all of that away, what are you left with? And I really feel like that's where we currently are at as far as the energy goes. So I actually have two decks in front of me. I was shuffling and I was trying to get, see what the message was, what the feeling was about it. And me being me with my Merlin desk, I knocked some butterfly oracle cards over because they were just kind of sitting here. Wouldn't you know it? But if you know, you know, there are no accidents. So Captain Sassy Pants, what came out of the falling of the butterfly oracle? First card was Welcome the New. Who knew? Then we have the You're Stronger Than You Know. Fabulous. Then we have Moving. Some of you might actually be doing a major move, a major shift in life. This could be a physical move, whatever it is. There's no way you can't tell me that you're not experiencing a shift. If you can look at me with a straight face and say, no, I'm not experiencing any of that, great, I'll call you a liar. And then we have Healing from Your Past. Whatever was so easy to take advantage of in the past, I really feel like it's not going to be possible. It doesn't exist anymore. This already had its own death. So what I'm seeing with this is the mourning process of and the healing process of letting go what was so compatible with people's exploitation of the past. So here we are. It's time to start going through the memories. And that's actually something that I want you to sit and do. And I've been bringing up coaching and hypnosis clients. I did that in the mini reads. I'm doing it here now, so that's going to be interesting. There's a thing that I do with coaching or hypnosis clients where we integrate them into a past memory. I say we, it's me and the client. So integrating a previous experience or a scenario, whatever it happens to be, it's almost as if you were watching a movie. So in that scenario, you are watching it like, the film. But the thing is, you are not emotionally attached to it. You are watching as an observer. But the thing is, when we get to a peak point in it, you can press the pause on this and you can interject yourself into the scenario and make whatever connections or breaks that you need in this. And that's what I'm seeing that you are probably going to end up doing. Not a bad thing, but it's definitely something that needs practice. So I see the reflection, I see the memories that are coming up with you, but the thing is, I don't want you to just brush it off or just be like, oh, well, that sucked and it's over. Yes, of course it is over, but it is still replaying in your mind, and that's going to subconsciously bring in similar scenarios. We have to change the subconscious on this, which is the main conscience. So it's time to change the programming, which is what I see. So while we're looking at this, the memories, what is going to come out of the work that you will be doing with this? Hobbies. You're going to find better things to do with your time rather than destroying yourself. Who knew? I'm thinking of one of my friends who's in Arizona. I just immediately thought of her while throwing that down, and this is a woman who I absolutely love and admire. So if you know that this is you, just know that I love you. But this actually might be relevant to quite a few of you. You're going to find better things to do with your time rather than destroying yourself. And then we have the adult children. I see that you are going to take the dire seriousness off of life itself, and that you are not going to be reactive, but you are going to get this playful aspect of yourself back. I want you to be a big kid. I want you to be ridiculous. I want you to let your freak flag fly. So this is ending of an era. What is the era? What are you burying? I'm actually feeling mermaids and dolphins. Okay, this popped out. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and lives, but I still want to go with the mermaids and dolphins. Okay, so the end of the era is the soul patterns and contracts. You're signing the notice that you have completed the project on that, which is great. I do feel like this is generational. I feel like this is interchangeable lives that have happened. So whoever's involved in this, I feel like the soul contracts go beyond this life. So I feel like you guys have been each other's prime characters in previous lives, where either you were the antagonist or they were the antagonist, and now it's your time to actually flip the script and get closure on this. So your pattern with this person going through the lives and reincarnating is coming to a close. Whether or not you believe in reincarnation, totally up to you. You can look at it that way, which is the main feeling that I'm getting, or you can look at it through, just generational traumas. Honestly, that could be for a few of you, but I'm getting that this is interlife lessons learned, and now you get to sign off on this. The lesson is complete, the contract is complete, and I also feel like it's involving mother healing. So it's not always going to be mom. It's whoever the divine nurturer is and who your caregivers were. This is all about introspectiveness, self-love, standards, and how you connect to others. It is divine feminine energy. It's usually dealing with the left side. It's dealing with going inwardly. So you're healing, I think, the internal monologue and your process. And I think that also it's a major time of self-love and reflection, those two side by side. And I actually see that the hot and cold that has run in with the divine feminine energy inside of you is going to be healed at this point in time. How did I know that the mother healing was coming in? All right, so what else? Along with mother healing, what can you expect? Let's see. Friendship. Make a date and play with one or more friends. Okay, so wait, what about friendship? I need to get clarity with that. Yeah. All right, Rider, wait. What's healing in friendships? empty promises, lack of fulfillment. It feels like it could be the classic one-sided, why do you always have to reach out to everybody? Yeah, these are relationships that have run their course. Now, what's funny is, you know how you see like these memes online, like, stop calling people and see who calls you first. What if everybody is having that mindset? You know, hey, don't call them, let them call you. I don't want to call you idiots because I mean it lightheartedly. Every a-hole out there, I mean that positively, not just horribly, is waiting for the other person to call them. I want you to reflect in the relationships, what has been one-sided? Where has it been somebody overextending themselves? It could very well be the friend that is overextending themselves and they're asking for you to step up. Relationships need to be balanced. And I see that that's what's coming into play. I'm not telling you to ghost or cancel anyone out. Honestly, it's too much. In healthy relationships, you can normally communicate and work through this. And for some of you, I see that the effort is going to be made right there. Some of you, not so much, but you know what? It is what it is. Some relationships run their course and you have to move on, and it sucks. But what I'm seeing here is what's going to run its course are the one-sided relationships. See what's salvageable that you would even want to salvage. Some people are really going to remain important characters in your life. Some you have to love them and honor them and let them go and love and honor yourself in the process. So what you deserve and what you are getting are going to start to meet up, which very exciting. Okay. All right, so I still feel like these cards I need to wait to the end. What are some things that you need to look out for as you're going through this? What are some potholes that you need to watch out for? Why do I feel like that card called me up? By the way, I couldn't sleep last night. So we have to get some rest. You need to start letting your body get to rest. The nurturing, the replenishing with food, water. Just do something that is right for your body, not something that you are forcing yourself to do. Windfall. Be mindful of what is coming your way and keep the faith. So what do you need to watch out for? Things that are going to fall into your lap that are not going to seem real. But these are coming from actual trigger points. So there's a decision that needs to be made, and what are you leaving behind? Hopefully that didn't cut out. So anyway, yeah, what are you leaving behind? So there's going to be a leveling up in religion and spirituality for you, a reaffirmation of it. There's old ideals that need to die out, old ideals about relationships and connections and people who are no longer part of your wavelength. And what I see is what you have to look forward to. Okay. Wisdom of the Avalon. What do you have to look forward to? All right, so whatever has come in quickly, do not be afraid of it leaving. That's what's coming in to be healed with that. So you have elevated connections that are coming in and leaving behind the dusty crap. And I mean it, crap. We have the Merlin, alchemy, justice, and balance. As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. This is the Magician card. What you have to look forward to is the activation of all of the elements in this new cycle working in your favor, having all the information, all of the tools available to you. And also what I'm seeing in this is you just intuitively knowing how to utilize all of this. Like the wisdom has been integrated. Actually, you might have been getting a lot of downloads, ears ringing. I don't know about you, but left ear has been ringing a lot with me. That's usually a download. Also this pull between the eyes, it feels like almost a magnetic pull that seems to be pulling this out. And also we can always go with vivid dreams. Anytime anything happens, we always have vivid dreams. But the thing is with vivid dreams is, yes, it does have meaning. It means that some sort of major change has occurred in your life and your brain is trying to make sense of it. So these can go into psychic and precog dreams, but also intuitive dreams that are actually in the scenario. So it takes all your events and it starts to compartmentalize and break them down. And it gives you symbols for what each sign means and for what the event means, and taking what the event is and how it has affected you, and based on the work that you have already done, it starts to precog in the second phase where you can expect things to go based off of where you've already been. So it starts to tell you that storyline. That's why there's so many dreams that are so symbolic that don't really make any sense when you logically think about it. But then you start to look into deeper, like, what does this symbol do? What is it? How does it act? Like, what is the color meaning of this? Is there any sort of numbers? Look up the symbolism of a dream, or go to a dream reader. And then there's the dumping of the garbage, which everything that was not utilized in the dream is just dispelled through the sleep phase. So also what you have to look forward to is the Earth Fairy. Look at how beautiful she is. Look at her. Look at her. Actually, I don't know if, well, yeah. Let's see, physical health, grounding, and foundations. So what you have to look forward to is a constant reminder to ground yourself, especially with all these downloads. And when you're going through an awakening, 20 times out of 10, yeah, I did the fraction on that poorly for a very specific reason, because it is always overflowing. You're going to feel nuts. You're going to feel like you are losing your mind. You're going to hate everything. Everybody always thinks of spiritual awakening as like waking up and feeling fresh. You will have that after you've dealt with the garbage, after you've been through the hell. And you can't tell me otherwise. Talk to anybody who's had a spiritual awakening. They'll tell you it's brutal. It is not for the faint of heart. So this, you have to remember that everything that you are dealing with, every hurdle that you are climbing over, that you are working through, every left curve, is because you are building this new foundation for what will become. And then we have the grounding of it. So the awakening, as you're going up on a higher level, it's not about you getting flaky and lackadaisical. It is about you remaining practical, intuitive, and centered as you are making these decisions and making these actions happen in your life. So, my dearest, it's pretty magical, but don't lose your head and keep your feet on the ground. So the likely outcome of this and what is occurring in your life is we have judgment. Everything coming to this this pivotal point. And I'm seeing the divine either culture or the divine intelligence play out right before your eyes and reaffirm your faith, and it highlights who you are as a person. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that you have probably been abnormally hard on yourself, thinking that every little stupid thing that you did is the worst thing and you deserve to go to Hades. No, not even a little. What I'm seeing here is you are a highlight in the judgment because of everything that you did not give up on, everything that you had crawled your way through. You have a lot of people who are cheering you on, not only on this side, but from the other side. I know that it's been hard, but it's been quiet for quite some time, and that's because they are all focusing on what work it is that you are doing. So you have loved ones, you have your angels, you have, God. But also, it's like you are going to get the recognition and the validation that you so righteously deserve. And I think that this is going to reestablish an even deeper faith for you, whether it's just for self or for this higher sense of being. We also have what this is leading to, which is very empiric. We have an entire new cycle, and it's always with this sense of abundance, which is great, grand, and wonderful, but the flow of it is constant and it's vast. And also we have a lot of earth energy around this. There's a lot of materialisticness around this, materialism. It feels successful, but it also feels like it's a generational thing that is coming up ahead, that it's a big payoff that has been waiting to happen. And also I'm seeing that all of this is done through the purification process. So everything actually takes on a sense of lightness to it, which I can genuinely appreciate. your passion, your youthfulness, your curiosity, your drive to keep moving forward and not stopping in hell is what is absolutely getting you the payoff. You did not cave, you did not give in. You are somebody who crawled through the fire on this one, and I know how that sounds, but you are going to see the closure for what this is, and what comes after it is a major sense of comfort, of enlightenment. Also, there is a reward for this that Spirit is going to give to you, and it's not just one reward, it is a continuous flow of rewards your way. So this is an overflow of gift that is coming towards you that I think that should have been coming to you all along, but part of the hurdle was actually you and seeing your worthiness and accepting whatever these gifts were, because you were rejecting every little thing that was being sent your way with an issue of worthiness. Now it's like, okay, I can accept this. And when you accept it, let's see, accepting the sense of worth, you're going to be on this absolute adventure. You are going to be completely enamored with yourself. That's not going to your head on a superficial level. It's just your higher self and your 3D self are giving each other a fist bump. And I cannot love it enough. It is creating this amazing storm in your life, and it's creating this major sense of adventure. It is a major fusion of you, and I can't wait to see what this does for you moving forward. All right, you. That's been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on love for February 1st, 2022, also being timeless. So if you do have questions about booking a session, go ahead and reach out in the provided email address or find me on the social platforms and send me a DM. Don't forget to see what services I provide, see what might be right for you. Ask about pricing, sales, availability, time zones. I really look forward to meeting you. Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. It looks like you are making some headway after a lot of the same mistakes in your life. I feel like I shouldn't say the mistakes, but I also feel like I need to actually label them as what the consistent mistake has been, the consistent problem. You're just finding stability in your life. This has been a major effort on your part. You really are coming in fast and not letting whatever the mistake is rule over any more of your life. I think that this bullheadedness really cleared everything out. I really feel like you finally have a sense of control. Like you can manage the situation. You're starting to feel what you can imagine what normal would feel like. Spirit says, that's nice. How about we just kind of look for a tower though? Tower, I think that this is more of like a test for you to show the authenticity of whatever the stability is for you. You look stable, but are you stable? Yeah, you're about to prove that one. I see that this is a lot of, there's a lot of fulfillment in what your proof is. I see that you are not going to be fazed by whatever this challenge is. It is going to be a mild inconvenience to your stability, but it's for you to push back with. So what I'm seeing here is it seems to be either a wave or a loss, a wave of sadness or a loss, but it's also showing up as just a major sense of grief. There's whatever the loss is, it's carrying a new wave of grief with it. This is going to be a test of your character, because what you do in this low time is going to show how you've broken the cycle. It'd be so easy for you to go back to a toxic partnership, a toxic habit, whatever your source of escapism is. But what I'm seeing here is you're actually being the advocate for yourself. I think that you had externally sought this throughout the time. Nobody was there, and the whole beginning of this is to show that You are your own protector and powerhouse and a source of stability and security. Somebody's faults, projection, accusations are blowing up in their face. I do feel like it is in regard to you. This is a major lesson for whoever this was. Actually, I feel like it's probably for both. It's you and how you handle it, how you stand your ground, your character, your integrity, all of those things. But it's also showing the kind of people, whoever it was that was causing this ruckus. It's also seeing what kind of person they genuinely are. So true colors are going to be shown. There's discrediting of whoever this is. And this is, I think what the lesson is for them is, I always want to go with the playful F around and find out, but it's more like, God, the lesson for them is, what would that lesson cause and effect? If you want to cause some trouble, you are going to become and get the trouble. So I think that's what they are dealing with right now. The hard times, the sense of rejection are truly coming to an end. I think the people who are deceived in this are some of the most gullible, because they believe this almost without hesitation. But now this new discovery is going to lead to a level of awareness with them. But I don't feel like you're going to let them off the hook so easy. You could do anything with this. You could always take the high road. You could always just let it go. You could do whatever with this. But I see this sick and twisted pleasure coming through you with almost needing to call people out on how stupid and gullible this entire thing was and how they went for it and how this had really hurt you, how it made you feel rejected, and how I think that you genuinely see them now. Because if they went along with it and you were thrown under the bus, you can't really hold them as close as you did before. And yeah, it's their own ignorance, great, but how quickly did they jump to the other person's point of view on this? It's pretty wild, huh? I think that you're going to be very outspoken, and I think that even though you're calling them out and really holding them accountable and really sticking it to them, I do feel like you are incredibly awakened and enlightened. So there's been a lot of corruption around your situation. I think that it's personal and professional corruption. And I think that whoever this is involved I think whoever it is incredibly unstable. I also feel like they're ruthless, and I think that you were probably a pawn in this entire situation for them. This may not be as dramatic as it's coming across. Somebody could just be a dbag at work for all I know. But what I'm seeing in here is you sticking to your guns. This was something that could have completely blown your character. But I see the mind over your desire to react to this is what kept you safe. I see that you are the epitome of strength. It's telling you that you had no other choice but to have strength when everything was crumbling around you, with every ideal that was crumbling about you. This, whatever this security, promise, even materialism, even financial, whatever this security and stability was being kind of challenged, ripped away from you. It's just, what was certain was no more, and that can rock a person to their core. But you, my dear, you stood your ground. You took the hit, but it wasn't something that killed you. I feel like whoever threw this, like left ball at you, they really meant to bury you with this. Figuratively, of course. But what I'm seeing here is it wasn't a failure. I do feel like you rose above this. I feel like you were able to emotionally unplug. I really do. Because if you emotionally reacted to this, we wouldn't be here. I'd be doing a reading about, bail. But I'm seeing that there's a major vindication that happened with this. I see that the truth is actually being brought forward. And what I see is you actually have a new lease on the entire situation rather than have it be tainted by the past. I see that this is probably going to be a rewrite of contracts and or reputation, whatever it is. It's going to involve signing off on a lot of papers with you. But I think that this is more promising than whatever was flaky or uncertain beforehand, or whatever threw you this left curveball, whatever. It's no more in this situation. And we have the Sun card. So this is promising a brighter future without all these challenges in this particular scenario. And there's a lot of coins in it. So materialism, money, abundance. So you are going to be glad that you actually backed out of this when you did. I see that this person was kind of a dbag, to be fair. I don't think that they were going to change. I think that, like everything else, you can see the potential in it, but this person really had no interest in changing. And what I see is almost like this changed so fast, it was like whiplash with you. So we have the King of Wands in reverse. This is somebody who is so short-sighted, who doesn't make any plans for what they want their life to actually look like. But I also see like the instant crush that you had on them. Like, I'm going to pour this into that with them. This, if you stayed in a relationship with them, you would have felt trapped. You would have been lonely. If you already were in this relationship, I'm just glad that you got out when you did, because this, even though this could have been like a few months, it feels like forever. Whatever the case is, this feels like it was an eternity. And what I see is it feels like a major sense of loss when it comes to them. It feels like rejection. Even though you unplugged and pulled out of this, it still is something that hurts you, because it feels like somebody got one over on you. That is something that I think is keeping you away from connecting to authentic relationships right now. We have something that really challenges the normal relationship patterns, like whatever the programming is on it. I think that you are completely rejecting it right now. And I do feel like you might have just met or are meeting somebody right now who actually is going to challenge those norms with you. And I do feel like communication is happening rather fast. This person feels like a homecoming for you. It's a spiritually based relationship. It's an entirely new cycle. I feel like this person, it doesn't, you could have been getting that feeling like you saw them in your dreams, but they do seem rather familiar. This is not going to be the typical relationship. I don't really think that it matters what the title is in it. I think that this is just this feeling of belonging. I feel like you finally found a place that you genuinely belong in, a connection. So this, you've gotten this after you've been through the worst. And I'm just happy that you got away from the XD bag. You did good. So I was posing a question about love, and there's this feeling of always having to be a choice, and not, having somebody be like, all I want is this. And it's funny because we all have that reaction of, I want this. And a lot of times in connections, it feels like there's nothing but choices, which it can hurt. What I see is finally feeling like you are being chosen. This feels like a spirit gift. It feels like there's a major difference in whoever this is in your life. I don't care if you're polyamorous, whoever it is. These are all wild cards who are coming in. But whoever this is that you have drawn in for a partnership, they're incredibly different from you. This could be location, it could be background, it could be whatever the case, upbringing, major differences. Maybe it's just incredibly different personalities. There's karmic lessons about running the heck away from this, because I see that this is Two of Cups energy, which is my favorite card as far as love readings go. Part of you wants to run away from the Two of Cups energy because it's feeling like a battle. Not that this is an actual battle, again, regardless of what any cards say. If any relationship is abusive, toxic, or illegal, get the heck away from it. But what I'm seeing here is this relationship that you have called in that is spiritually based, Two of Cups energy. This has been incredibly triggering for you, causing a lot of anxiety, a lot of unrest in you. So, lo and behold, wouldn't you know it? This is one of my most hateful yet favorite things about, when I read about these kinds of connections, because you can imagine what kind of connection this is. It is going to bring up every single one of your worst fears, whether it's real or not. It is going to bring up every single one of your insecurities, so you can unpack it and face it, because not all the healing can happen outside of relationships. Some of this crap has to happen in relationships. So if you had like a really crappy relationship, really toxic, narcissistic, abusive, whatever it is, relationship before, those ghosts are going to be coming in as a projection in the relationship, and it's going to be an opportunity to mend the connection with love, with understanding, and go about this another way rather than creating the same storyline of abuse, neglect, narcissism in your head. So what I'm seeing here is an amazing empire being built by loving individuals who are incredibly trigger happy with each other and continuously falling in love with each other over and over. Building an empire. Well, you finally completed a cycle, and what's good about this is this one was filled with a lot of antagonism, imbalance, a lot of pushiness towards you. It was really pushing and seeing what your breaking point would be. I don't feel like the breaking point is your true character. I feel like that is the reaction and impulse of whatever the outside pusher was, whether it's social, whether it's peers, whether it's whatever the environmental factor is. I see that you have crossed the finish line. The hard time is over, and we have the celebration that's coming in. I feel like you went through one of the biggest hell points of your life. So now it's like, how are we going to celebrate this amazing graduation? You passed your exams with flying colors. You graduated. Go on and crawl across the stage, because that's all you got left in you. Actually, you are going to really see from a detached perspective how held back that you were and how much the effort was in holding you back. Now, the only reason why anything tries to hold you back is because it has a major sense of fear. It senses how great you are. It has a sense of how big and how successful, how happy, how just massive you could be. Whatever that grand scale looks like for you, whether it's happiness or material, love, whatever the case, it sensed how big you could be with that, and it's horribly intimidating, making that insecure, and that didn't want you to actually come out on top with that. So you are going to see that for the little coward energy that is, and I see that devil energy is you being able to truly detach her and watch the situation as if it were a movie. And that's actually something I do with life coaching and hypnosis clients. It's learning to detach from whatever the event is and watch it as if it were a movie. You can pause it, you can plug yourself into the scenario. What I'm seeing right here is that you actually did that. So now I think that you have this really high sense of self. I think that you are completely full of yourself, and I love it. Finally, you have this amazing ego going. You know how desirable you are. You know how worthy you are. And I see that you are going to walk away from these dusty ass influences. It's a time to let go. The thing is, you're really letting go of a big nothing in your life. These people were not worth the time, but whatever's coming up is going to be worth everything.